Hello and welcome to the Trebuchet guide. We're looking at some ranges, damages and giving a few positioning comments. So that's what we're all talking about. Trebuchet shot. So let's take a look at using it. It's the minimum shot there, just firing at the gate. It's an unupgraded gate and does 5,089 points of damage. It also has a secondary attack of a cow, poisoned cow. And that puts down an area of effect. It applies a poison damage and does some initial damage there as well. It's good for stopping people from getting full effect out of their heals, as poison reduces that. So I'm just going to turn the trebuchet now and attempt a long range shot. It's quite slow to turn, so if a fight moves quickly forwards, backwards, left or right, you will have trouble tracking it with a trebuchet. Okay, now can I reach the keep from this position? So full power. It's got quite a bit of height, and in case you are wondering, yes, that can clear a keep wall or a tower wall, so you can shoot out from inside the buildings. It doesn't reach the keep wall there, but to get a better idea of just how far it can shoot, we're going to play a game of Chase the Cow, and hopefully that will give us a better idea of what the actual maximum range is, so we can get a closer look. So this is something you don't see every day. Right, so we're just going to run down to the keep. As we approach the keep, if you look at the walls, you can see that it's actually fully upgraded. They've even put up some siege equipment. There's oil over the gate. There's a few blister carts appearing there. There's mortar straight in front of us. There's a cannon forwards and left appearing now. And there's also another mortar to the right. So it's about here that there's the maximum range of that shot, falling just short of the destructible wall there. Just another look there at the siege equipment. Okay, so we established that it's got a good deal of range, but the question has to be asked, can you hit the keep wall there from this position, from inside the keep? That was a minimum shot, again doing about 3,800 or so points of damage to NPCs. It does more to player characters, we'll see soon. That was a maximum range shot, and that's capable of clearing the walls. So you can in fact from this position with a trebuchet destroy any siege equipment upon the enemy walls, as well as attacking the destructible wall there. And turn it a little bit to the right. Can in fact attack in front of the gate as well, so the area of effect on that will probably be able to hit the gate. So that's quite a good position. The only problem there is that it's destructible by anybody putting AoE up on the wall. This is fully upgraded at the moment. It's got mortar, cannon, boiling oil. I don't really rate the cannon or the boiling oil because Zerg can just stand out front and take them down no problem. Okay, so here we're doing a little bit of tower defense, hitting for a bit over 5,000 points of damage against player characters with the main attack. Over 4,000 points of damage with the main attack there, sorry. And that's the minimum range shot from here, I think. So, as you can see, if they were closer to me, I wouldn't be able to touch them. That did about 2,000, a bit over 2,000 points of damage with the poison cow there, and it gives them a nice damage over time effect as well. So, this is short range combat. It's very much like all the other siege equipment. You don't need two men to do it. Just operate the siege equipment on your own. However, at long range, you won't be able to see some of the pieces of siege equipment, see where the actual fight is. So it's best to have a spotter to call out whether you've missed, whether you've gone short, gone long, to the left, to the right. You can try and use these cross swords on the map to get an idea of where the fight actually is. But as to whether you're being effective or not, you won't get much feedback on that. So I continue to try and defeat the enemy with this one piece of siege equipment, and as with all pieces of siege equipment on their own, without help you can't actually do that. People just move out the way, get rezzed, and the enemy actually takes that tower in the end. So now we move on to an experiment that I did of building a trebuchet inside on the ground of the eastern tower. So that's where I've placed it. It's actually a little bit more towards the bottom of the ramp there than the wall. And right, I just build that up till we have a full and working trebuchet. So, first test, can it shoot over the wall? So I put it to maximum power by holding down the fire button. I did see somebody who was working a trebuchet on one of the stress tests. They didn't know you had to hold the power button down, so every shot was a minimum shot and exploded pretty much in front of them. So to get the extra range you have to hold the button down, build up the power, it takes longer to fire. But that shot, in case you're wondering, did in fact strike the wall of the enemy keep. So you can take down a destructible wall by placing your trebuchet here. It's quite impressive. Now there I did a single low power shot. That one had a little bit more power. Now these can't get out. The animation might indicate the actual shot is higher than the wall, but as you can see it's impacting upon the wall, so there's some discrepancy there. I'm not entirely sure why, but there we go. So I tried different strengths to see what the minimum requirement there is to get out over the wall, and that was nearing, I'd say, about 90% power. So yeah, that's possibly a little bit over 90% power, and that was able to clear the wall. So I don't really have a great depth of fire from building a trebuchet inside of the tower here. It's either somewhere between 90% and 100% it's going to land outside the wall. The rest of them are going to impact on the inside of the wall, which isn't brilliant. I can't destroy siege equipment that's built on the enemy keep's wall because I can only just reach the keep wall from there. So if they build up trebuchets on their wall, then we'll have a trebuchet fight. So now I do another little test and rotate and face the door and see what kind of power I need to put in to get over there. 1/3, not doing so great. I was told that a minimum shot here was able to put up a nice gas cloud around the door, so I haven't tested that myself, but that's what I was told. So I didn't have to get anywhere near as much power there to actually lob over the wall because I'm further away from the wall, so that might be something to bear in mind when building trebuchet inside. And because I don't need so much power, I have much greater depth of firing range, so it can be a bit more effective depending on the situation. And that's the position there of where I've actually built it. Just one more thing, you need to touch siege equipment every 30 minutes in order to stop it from disappearing, as it currently has a timer on the place siege equipment only. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.